Let's move on to the next subject, which is the planet tech. There have been a lot of people in the exploration community, the race community, the hooning community that have expressed very, very serious concerns about the planetary tech. BLACKMAZE has done 2 separate videos that were explaining in detail problems with the planetary tech.
I'm doing one more video on the planetary tech system that replaced the Horizons version with the Odyssey DLC that was released this week. I'm going to take it a little slower this time. And I thought about whether I should. I have been posting so many remarks on the internet already, but when you're in a failing relationship, you must fight for that thing you love. And for me, that's planet exploration and Elite Dangerous, and Horizons allows me to do this so well. You just find a planet with interesting features from orbit. You pick something out that you like, you get closer, and you look at it. And it looks beautiful. Ridges look natural, terrain flows naturally with hills looking rough and different from whatever side you look at it from. Color gradients make sense and flow into each other nicely. The terrain just looks real. Here we go. Let's compare Odyssey to Horizons again. Let's start with the texture work in this one. This is the same planet. Both the old and the new system drawing their data from the Stellar Forge. The same data. Horizons spits out gorgeous textures. Odyssey doesn't. And I appreciate that some folk are saying that this is just an unlucky, ugly planet. They are wrong. An ugly planet might be featureless, could be boring, but the terrain should still have high fidelity and detail. Just look at all those little rocks and cracks and shadows normal baked into the terrain in Horizons. All of that is gone with Odyssey. All Odyssey planets demonstrate that same leopard print pattern across their terrain, with dark patches having a bit more detail and the light patches lacking in every sense. So again, the dark patches sometimes show a lot of detail, but the light patches, while also never showing up in night vision because there's nothing to reflect or emit, they're just really bland and flat. If we pull back into orbit, you can see the difference again, and some might say, at first glance, that the Odyssey variant looks better. Not when you realize that every single planet is now doing that same thing, with a different intensity and seed. Every planet is coming out like it's been paintbrushed. The texture pattern looks the same, the leopard print, with darker regions and brighter regions painted across like a computer-generated world. The Horizons one looks to have natural and chaotically formed hills that cast big shadows and logically change color depending on the height of the terrain. There's even a gentler color variation from the light grey to the purple that looks incredibly realistic. See if you can spot it. Gone are the days of Mars-like terrain with truly sharp ridgelines like this. What you're seeing at the top is simply not possible with the new height map system. While I appreciate that the new planet got really unlucky with its terrain generation, and we're going to get that with these rerolls. You can see, again, by the way, the same leopard print. I get that, but gone are the days of natural looking planets that make you wonder what you'll find when you descend down toward the ground. You'll just find the same couple of sets of randomly generated black spots with either ice or rock, and the white stuff in between with a lack of detail. 12th Tree and Ghoulie sees an incredible Inra base set in a crater, between a Pirate Bay looking mountain. Taylor Keep. What a wonderful place to visit. If you haven't been, go do it, but be sure to do it in Horizons and not in Odyssey. Gone are the days of hills shaped in this fashion. The new height map system doesn't allow for generating rolling hills like this that don't just look like peaks with different size and intensity, again like they were pulled up with a paintbrush, that have the same rounding off at all sides, and they don't blend into each other. The hills actually look like a mountain in Horizon. Again, the Odyssey planet was just unlucky and got made boring with a leopard print. Let's check out Farseer in the Deciate system. I genuinely shudder when I look at the impressive degradation we see from the gorgeous shapes in Horizon to the appalling shapes in Odyssey. Just look at the edges on the ridge, how sharp and realistic they look in Horizons, and how 2005 they look in Odyssey. Not to mention the appalling texture work. It looks like fur, like carpet. Again, like it was made in 2005. But Horizon looks real, rough, not computer generated. Some people are posting pictures like this, and I want you to realize that these people are lying to you. This picture received a bunch of post-processing work to make it look much better than what you'd find in-game. Gamma, contrast, shadows were reduced, and highlights were increased. This is not what you get in-game. I went to this same location, and what you actually see is more like this. Again, those same height map generated bloopy canyons, if you want to call them that in this instance, they all look so similar, and nothing looks real. If we zoom in a little closer, just look at the way this canyon is formed. Does this look real to you? It looks as computer generated as the sound of Stephen Hawking's text-to-speech machine. Did you know that their new planet tech system lies to you as well? Check this out. Some incredible scratches in the terrain. I was really impressed when I saw this. I got really excited to get closer and drive around them with the Scarab. They are fake. As you approach them, they vanish. They're just there to give you a nice impression from a medium altitude, you know, for all those making fancy screenshots and overselling the scenery. Guys, I'm an explorer at heart, and I do apologize for how salty I am, but I love going out there, finding new planets, gorgeous terrain, and exploring it to my heart's content. I've tried it in Odyssey, and all the planets look the same. Height map generated crap with bloopy little hills as if they were painted on with a brush tool, some more intense than others. I've completely lost my appetite for this with the Odyssey terrain. It just doesn't look good.
Obsidian Ant has done a video that was showing it off. There's been forum threads, explorers have been talking about it, everybody's been discussing it. Basically, the gist of it, the TLDR version, is this. We were told that Odyssey was going to give us this amazing new planet tech. It was going to have geological formations and volcanisms and Linnae and palimpsests and cryovolcanism and all kinds of neat rock formations and ridges and mountains and neat things. And I'll be honest with you, we've seen it. We've seen amazing, gorgeous new planets. However, we've also seen a lot of areas that people have been pointing out that it's like, this looks horrible. This looks flat and splotchy and not right. And a lot of people have sort of been jumping to the conclusion that, well, the planets are broken, the planet tech sucks, this is no good. And I disagree. I think that the planet tech is great, and you've seen it on some of these amazing planets. I think we're having a server issue or I'm not smart enough to know computer stuff, but we're having something broken in the back end issue, which if you look specifically at the Obsidian Ant video, he shows like, this doesn't seem right. You go to planet A, it looks amazing. You go to planet B, it looks horrible. You go to planet C, it looks amazing. You go to planet D, it looks horrible. Something is wrong here. I suspect that it's not the planet tech. It's the servers. It's the something. It's not being rendered properly. It's not that it's poorly designed. It's that there's a bug that's causing it to work great in places and horrible in others. And people are making videos highlighting the horrible ones and saying, see, this is horrible, which they're right. It is. But that's not a problem of the design. That's a problem of the execution. And it's a problem that is much easier, I believe, to fix. So I'm thinking that this is a situation of it's janky, it's undercooked, they rushed it, and it didn't get out properly rendered across all of the planets. It's there for half of them and not the other half. I think that we're going to see this get fixed in the course of the next couple weeks or month and a half, whatever, and then it will be better. That is my supposition. I could be wrong. What do I know? But from what I've seen and what I've put together logically, that's my hunch.
If you don't watch the BLACKMAZE video without also watching the Obsidian Ant video. I watched the BLACKMAZE video, and honestly, I felt almost sick to my stomach, because what he shows is a series of worlds that where obviously the planet tech isn't working, and it looks, the shape of the surface looks like rocks under a rug, and the textures on the surface look like melted ice cream randomly splattered all over the place. It's really bizarre. And I think the main point he's making, which really resonated with me, is, one of the reasons you explore is to go find cool looking places and explore them. And if what he was finding was true across the galaxy on all the new all the new landable planets and all the existing landable planets, then it would be a pretty boring journey. Because he was just showing time and time again that the texture maps looked like, he was calling them like leopard skin. I've compared them to like digital camo. And that's just like a non-starter. And then in Obsidian Ant's video, obviously there's obviously some distinction between planets that just look great and others that look like what BLACKMAZE found. And I'm currently on a little mini expedition where I'm sort of testing this theory. And the first couple of planets I've landed on, the tech is working and they look freaking awesome. I don't disbelieve that what BLACKMAZE found is true, but it's obvious that it's not everywhere. And it definitely appears like something's not turned on these planets that are looking this bad. So obviously something will fix, but it is disheartening to see it kind of roll out this way. And certainly luck of the draw, depending on what planets people land on first, they could get a pretty bad impression of this.
Tweet.
Yeah, 2 points on this. One, if it is indeed bugs, and I'm pretty sure, like Obsidian Ant said, that it looks like they are bugs as far as that goes, they'll get that right. That's the kind of thing they will fix. That's what these hot fixes are for. I don't have any worry about that. Dr. K is very proud in her work. She will make the devs get it right. As far as not having the different terrain and all the different things that the racers want, I totally get why they're stressing out about it. But one statement he made in one of his videos was that this new tech can't create that kind of stuff. I don't know how he knows what this tech can and can't do yet. And I've seen some pictures on Twitter, and Roy's pictures actually, where there is some pretty good terrain. There's hills, there's mountains, there's different things like that I've seen out there. And I would contend that they just haven't explored enough of the galaxy yet. We can't say with certainty when you've only had Odyssey for 3 days. I'm pretty certain that you didn't find all the great racing tracks and all the cool planets 3 days into Horizons. So
no, I get that. What he's saying, what BLACKMAZE is saying, and he's very right to say, is I went to these 5 planets that used to be awesome and now they're crap. What Obsidian Ant was saying is that, yes, a lot of the planets are crap. Other ones are spectacular. This is a bug, so they'll get to that. Flaps.
Yeah, I agree totally with Roy. It does feel like it's almost a luck of the draw sort of situation, because I sort of went on a mini exploration myself last night. I went out to the Bubble Nebula, and every planet I sat myself down on looked absolutely amazing. Like, I couldn't fault anything that I saw. I went out to the Thargoid base at one point, took a couple of shots from outside the Thargoid base, not inside the Thargoid base, and again looked absolutely amazing as well. So it does feel like it's a wee bit luck of the draw. It almost feels like they've launched these new servers, got the new servers up and running, and then they're deciding to add these planetary optimizations later on with these hot fixes that keep coming out little by little by little. It almost feels that way, but I don't know. I'm just like you, Kai. I know nothing about computers.